Evening, members, and welcome to Castle Point Cabinet agenda on the 20th of December. Can we start by going around, members, introducing ourselves, the Cabinet that is? I'll start with Councillor Gibson.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Councillor Gibson, Cabinet Member for Strategic Planning.
Councillor Steve Mountford, Cabinet Member for Resources. Thank you.
Cabinet Member Ross Savage, Cabinet Member for People and Community.
Good evening, Councillor Carol Sage, Cabinet Member for Health, Wellbeing and Housing.
Good evening, Leader. Councillor Barry Palmer, Cabinet Member for Economic Growth and Climate Action.
Thank you, members, and I'm Councillor Dave Blackwell, Leader of the Council. And have we got any apologies for absence, please?
Yes, Chairman, we have apologies for absence from Councillor Fuller and Councillor Tom Gibson.
Members, any members' interests? No, thank you, members. Members, item 3 is the minutes. Is it okay I sign the minutes as being correct? Thank you very much. Thank you. Members, questions? Have we? I don't think.
No notification has been received, Chairman.
Okay, thanks, members. So, members, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to ask with your approval to bring forward item agenda 10. Councillor Godfrey Isaacs has kindly come along, who's the chairman of Scrutiny, to actually present his new draft constitution report, and he's bringing the recommendations to Scrutiny. So, over to you, Councillor Godfrey Isaacs.
Thank you, Chairman. Review of the new draft constitution. Cabinet proposes to bring a refreshed version of the Council's constitution to a meeting of full Council for adoption. The Council has requested that the Scrutiny Committee, pre-scrutinise the draft documentation before final versions are presented to a meeting of full Council for decision. Scrutiny Committee have met on 6 occasions between the 9th of October and the 30th of November, looked at chapters 1 and 2 and are in favour of the overhaul of the Constitution. You have a report in front of you with 8 recommendations which the Scrutiny Committee have put forward. I don't think there's any need to actually read them out unless you would like me to, Mr. Chairman. But I would move that these recommendations are put before Cabinet and go in the new Constitution.
Thank you, Councillor Isaac. Members, there are 8 recommendations. Is that agreed? Agreed. Thank you very much, members. Thank you, Councillor Isaacs. Okay, members, moving on to item 4, the Biodiversity Net Gain Supplementary Planning Document. Councillor Warren Gibson.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Yeah, you said it is the Biodiversity Net Gain Supplementary Planning Document. I won't read the report because it's a very lengthy report. Maria's done some great work on it, but there is 3 recommendations to this report. The first recommendation is that the Cabinet note the outcomes of the Environment Policy and Scrutiny Committee. The second recommendation is the Biodiversity Net Gain Supplementary Planning Document found in Appendix 1 is published for public consultation in accordance with the Town and Country Planning Regulations 2012 and the Consultation Plan found in Appendix 2. And the third recommendation is, in consultation with the Leader and Deputy Leader of the Council, the Chief Executive and Director of Place and Communities are authorised to make any final amendments to the Biodiversity Net Gain Supplementary.
Okay, members.
There's a further recommendation at paragraph.
Was there?
Yes, Councillor Gibson.
Sorry,
There's a further one.
Apologies, Chair. Thank you, Angela.
It's to recommend the Council, that's the old report.
But this one here, yeah.
This report was updated.
So
Because
just read this out, yeah.
to Council, not to Cabinet.
Okay, yeah, so the outcomes of the consultation, any resolute updates to the Biodiversity Net Gain Supplementary Planning Document are reported to Cabinet. The Cabinet will be asked at the time to recommend approval of the Biodiversity Net Gain Supplementary Planning for adoption to Council in accordance with the Planning and Compulsory Purchase Act 2004 and the Town and Country Planning Regulation 2012.
Sorry, Chairman. I do apologise, Councillor Gibson, you've got the wrong recommendation. There was a revised recommendation that was issued. And that is because it takes account of the change to the council meeting date. So it isn't coming back to Cabinet. It's not being reported back to Cabinet, first of all. It's going direct to council.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, okay. Yeah,
All right.
and said that. Andrew
Okay,
wanted
thanks
it.
for that. So, members, there are recommendations set out in the report. Is that agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you very much, members. Members, moving on, item 5 is the Essex Parking Guidance Consultation. Councillor Gibson, again.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Its purpose of this report is to note and endorse the response issued on behalf of the council to the consultation undertaken on the draft Essex Parking Guidance. Again, say everybody's got the report and they could have read it, and there is one recommendation on this one. It's to recommend that the Cabinet notes and endorses the response issued on behalf of the council to the consultation undertaken on the draft Essex Parking Guidance at Appendix 2.
Thank you, Councillor Gibson. Members, is the recommendation approved? Thank you very much. Moving on. Item 6, the Corporate Performance Scorecard. Councillor Mumford.
Thank you, Chair. Scorecard's been updated for the second quarter, and I think the report's there before you. The only highlight is we have been in contact with Essex County Council. The leader has written to them and had a meeting with them following up on the increase in fly tipping, and we hope that we'll hear back with some further progress on if there's any correlation between the introduction of the booking system and the increase in fly tipping. All fly tipping has been removed at a very high successful rate, and we will continue to monitor it. Apart from that, I made the report for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that noted, members? Thank you very much, members. Moving on, item 7, which is the Paddocks update, the progress of the refurbishment of the works at the Paddocks. The Paddocks is a much-loved community centre on Canvey Island, which sadly has been allowed to decline over the last 20 years. Members, it was originally given a set sum to actually repair and do the works at the Paddocks. Owing to the rising cost of materials and that, members, I'm asking the Cabinet to approve a withdrawal from the priority initiative reserves up to a maximum of £625,000 so the works at the Paddocks can be fully progressed and bring the Paddocks back to how it should be, a community hall we're all proud of. Members, is that agreed? Thank you very much. Moving on, members. Item 8 is the business support update. Councillor Palmer.
Thank you, Leader. The subject of this is business support update, as the Leader just said. The purpose of this report is to make members aware of the work that's been undertaken to provide better support to businesses and stimulate economic growth. It links in with the Council's priorities and objectives for business support and works directly to the growth of economy and growth objective. The background of this is that Castle Point received an award of £1 million to be spent over 3 years as part of the Shared Prosperity Fund. All local authorities received an allocation and they had to submit a plan to the government setting out how they would use this money. It has to be used over the 3 years, and they were required to identify from a menu of different interventions across 3 priorities: community and place, local business, people and skills. Since May, Michael Simmons and Billy Masters have joined the council as Senior Regeneration Infrastructure Delivery Officers, and these officers, along with Amanda, have done so much work to get the council to work with local businesses and bring local businesses together so they can work with each other, and they've also been working with them to get grants so they can expand and do their work better. The recommendations to the Cabinet is the Cabinet notes the work that's been undertaken to improve support for businesses and business engagement as described in the report.
Thank you, Councillor Palmer. Members, do you note the report? Thank you very much. Members, item 9, transforming together. the Council's Modernising Programme update. Members, we've probably all been doing more than enough transformation over this last year. So the report is set out, and I think we're nearly there. And I think the council will be a better council for it once we've actually finally put the last few pieces of the jigsaw in place. So members, just note the update of the way we are going forward in the transformation programme. Is that agreed? Noted. Thank you very much. Now, item 10 we've already done. Thank you, Councillor Isaacs. Item 11, unauthorised encampment conference update by Councillor Savage.
Good evening all. So as a Cabinet member and Council representative on the Essex County Traveller Unit, I attended the Unauthorised Encampment Conference, which took place on the 28th of November 2023. The conference was presided over by Roger Hurst, the Police, Fire and Crime Commissioner, along with representatives from the Essex Police Rural Team and Council representatives like myself from across the county on the Essex County Traveller Unit. It's my pleasure to report on a very positive meeting. The combination of the Essex Police Protocol on unauthorised encampments and the work of the Essex County Traveller Unit has proved to be extremely successful. We received presentations from both organisations whilst there. There has been a significant reduction in unauthorised encampments since 2015. In October 2015, there were 226 unauthorised encampments. By October 2023, there was 69 in Essex. And it's worth noting that in Castle Point, we had one last year, and due to the extremely quick response and diligence of our own officers, that was dealt with very proactively. And it's also worth noting that as soon as these guys move on now, they don't stay in Essex because they know that they can't stay in Essex. Other counties also seen a massive reduction. However, Essex was now known among the traveller community as not tolerating this illegal behaviour. The multi-agency approach is proving very successful, demonstrating that Essex is good at not tolerating this behaviour and enforcing the law when it comes to unlawful behaviour like this. Essex County Traveller Unit advised there had been a 75% reduction in unauthorised encampments over the past 5 years. This is attributed to an increase in evictions of these encampments. Currently, the number of unauthorised encampments was stable at low levels in the areas represented by the Essex County Traveller Unit. It's worth noting that Epping, Forest, Harlow and Southend are not members. This is extremely positive, demonstrating the benefit of partnership working, and we agree to meet again in a year's time. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councillor Savage. Item 12, matters to be referred to from the standing committees. There are none. Item 13 is an item I want to send to the Scrutiny Committee. Something I'm really quite passionate about is that members would have seen from the agenda one, you're requesting a Place and Communities Policy Scrutiny Committee to review our approach to promoting tourism opportunities in Castle Point and make recommendations back to the Cabinet on what we should do as a council in partnership with others to improve the promotion of local tourism, offer to local and support to local businesses in the tourism and leisure centres section. Members, we've never ever promoted Castle Point. We've got so much history in Castle Point, so much tourism in Castle Point, but this council has never gone out and promoted what we have. And so I think it'd be a good piece of work for Scrutiny to look at, and I'm sure there are funding out there to promote tourism, and Castle Point have got to be on that map so people will come down and see what we've got. So is that agreed, members? Thank you very much, members, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and see you next meeting. Thank you very much.